All right, it's been a hot second, but we're starting off with some legacy. Today, we've got some Goblin Charbelchers here, and some Cruel Bargains and some Infernal Contracts to draw a bunch of cards while we hopefully get there. And then a bunch of things to make fast mana, and some Lion's Eye Diamonds, and some Tendrils of Agony, and Legacy staple Slithermuse. We actually haven't played this deck in a long time, so this is our first time with Veil of Summer in the sideboard. We're probably still mostly dead to decks full of counterspells, but we have Veil of Summer to pretend maybe we're not. So let's go ahead and dive on into a Legacy League and see how it goes. I'm going to try and remember to say that a couple of times today. It's election day in Canada. Go vote. If you are one of our friends to the north. Don't get your own Donald Trump elected. Go vote. I don't actually know if any of your candidates are that bad. I'm not informed on your politics, but you should exercise your right to vote. All right. Let's dive on in here, shall we? What do I think gets banned today? There's like 4 or 5 permutations of things that get banned today. I don't really care to speculate at this point. We just wait 2 hours. All right, Stream Decker's updated. Thanks for the heads up on that one. You opened like 2,000 new polling stations. Look at that. That's wild. That's like the inverse of what the U.S. has been doing. You hope there's no changes in standard. That would kind of surprise me, honestly. $2 hours. Yeah, approximately 2 hours. Like somewhere between like 2 hours. Usually they post between 7:30 and 8 PST are their articles. Veil of Summer isn't a main deck card. Nah, you want to be as linear as possible. They don't always have forcible. Game 1, if you win the die roll, you want to have the best chance to combo off. If you're looking to play a combo deck that has interactive elements, you should play Storm. This deck is like trying to be cute. Yeah, I've got codes for the next 3 days. They're good till the 24th. Reminds me to tweet about that. You should drop me a direct message and I'll hook you up. If you're someone who's been on the fence about poking at Mythgard, I've got codes to give a bunch of booster packs and wild cards for the next 3 days. You have no idea how the shillings work from the user experience. All right, so here's a lukewarm take for people that don't understand. I would be incredibly surprised if the only data they're considering for this ban involves the Mythic Championship. If Wizards of the Coast is at all reasonable, the bulk of the information they are going to consider regarding banning things is going to be data from Magic Arena. Because there's a lot more information played on that application than they're going to get from one Mythic Championship. Thanks for the 3 months, J-Man. I appreciate the quarter of a year. Welcome back. Alright, so what does this hand do? This hand, it doesn't really do anything. I have a Chrome Mox to make my initial mana. But I don't have any second mana after that. So pretty easy mulligan here. Basically, what you're looking to do with this deck is you're looking to get some mana to get started, and then start drawing through your deck. Oh, we have the London mulligan too. London mulligan's probably pretty sick with this deck. All right, so like this hand, for instance, I get to go Lotus Petal, Summoner's Pact for Dryad Arbor, call the Dryad Arbor, draw 4 cards, like get going from there. So we're going to keep this, and we're going to bottom a Goblin Charbelcher. But also mulligan to 6. Driving in my car, beep beep. Hope no one wrecks into me. And again, just because we start comboing with this deck doesn't mean you're guaranteed to win. We're going on a bit of an adventure here together. So Call the Weak here is pay a black, sack a creature, make 4 black mana. So we're going to call this Dryad Arbor. Which will give us black mana to cast this Infernal Contract. Hey, thanks to the 10-month Sasquatch. Good morning. The channel points, things are nice. I'll use my first message. Say, keep up the good work and thanks for the content. Good morning, Number. Yeah, the channel points, I was happy to get those added. I was glad they let us into the beta. I think Magic Online has locked up. Oh, my opponent was casting a spell. Oh, so we cast Call the Weak, and then it locked up because my opponent was casting a Force of Will. Oh, we died. Thanks for the 16 months, Lou. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Remember when I said they don't always have the Force of Will? Our opponents always have the Force of Will. Yeah, Mythgard's really good software. It's cross-platform through everything. Same account on mobile and Steam. Probably going to be a fast league. Well, it's going to be fast in the aspect that we're going to lose really quickly, but it's probably not going to be fast in the aspect that Magic Online's a steaming dumpster fire. So we're going to bring in these 6 cards that are like anti-counterspell cards here. How do we like to sideboard? And just trim around the edges, if I recall correctly. So, Duress and Veil of Summer give us the possibility of cutting through some counterspells. Of course, the counterspell decks in Legacy get a lot more counterspells post-board, so like decks like this in Legacy are much worse than decks like Neoform are in Modern, just because in Legacy, like 4x Force of Will plus like Daze, Spell Pierce, Flusterstorm are like pretty common in a lot of decks. Thanks to the 33 months, Jin. And yeah, thanks to the 11 months. Welcome back. It's that time of the month where the ads tell me to click the button. I did not see it. I didn't watch a whole bunch of the coverage. I don't know. I wasn't super. I watched like the last couple matches, but like overall, I wasn't super engaged with this weekend just because like this is a turn 1 Belcher kill. We go land. Spirit Guide, make 3, make 4 LED kill you. Here. So if we don't hit our Dryad Arbor. If we don't hit our Dryad Arbor, we get to activate Belcher on turn 1 here. Because this makes 1 mana, this makes 2, this makes 3, this makes 4, this makes 7. Chrome Mox is explicitly a non-land, non-artifact card, so no, that is not a legal play. And even if we misfire the Belcher here, we have 2 mana, so like any mana source lets us refire next turn. They're just assuming, and you know what? They're silly. They're assuming that there isn't another land in our deck. Like, they saw Dryad Arbor game 1, right? Look at that. Ha! Got him. True skill game we play. Looks like Team Rocket's blasting off again! This hand doesn't have a starter, right? And it's got like 4 pieces of clunk here at the top end, 3 pieces of clunk. I think this is another mulligan. Yeah, it just doesn't do anything. I guess I'm keeping this at 5. It seems like it would be pretty silly if they, like, announced a change and then didn't change anything, but we'll see. Yeah, I would like to say that as someone who was critical of Wizards of the Coast, or someone who was critical of Blizzard, I was pleased with how Wizards handled Li Tian's dress and remarks this weekend. They definitely could have handled that differently, and they did not. So, you know, look at that. Watsy, good on you, Watsy, for not choosing to suck on the Chinese market. We're not bending to a dictator. Yeah, that's exciting. So I get to Duress them here. Best of 1 ban seem most likely. Maybe. You think so? I don't know. That seems like a... I think part of the reason there was a best of 1 ban last time was because... There was a best of 1 ban last time because Nexus... A lot of the tools to fight Nexus were explicitly cards that you wouldn't want to play in your main deck. And that's not really the case this time around. They're just like, aren't amazing tools for fighting them in general. I'd be surprised if we can win from here. I guess I can technically make 4 mana here, huh? So let's do that. I will say this, if they ban Field of the Dead and they don't ban... If they ban Field of the Dead and nothing else, the Teamer Friends deck is dead. Because the Teamer Friends deck has a really bad food matchup. And the food decks are everywhere. Oh, look, we got Counterspell. Yay. Yeah, I mean, that can happen to anyone, though, Red Link. People that are personalities get targeted all the time for stuff like that. That's why 2-factor authentication is great. How did that get into? I mean, the message timed out. Yeah, if you type exclamation point punter, exclamation point timeout, the bot does it for us. It's a good little bot. Who's a good little bot? Yes, you are. Person in charge of MTG bot finally fixed all the delays on it, which is great. Frags people instantaneously. So my schedule's a little wonky this week. We're actually, something I should be saying, I guess, I want to promote a lot today, is tomorrow we're going to attempt to play Historic on stream via best of 3 direct challenges. So if you have a historic deck and you'll be around between 8:30 and 2 o'clock tomorrow, Central Time, I'll be looking for subs to play with for that. So feel free to drop on in. So this is a turn 1 Belcher activation, but there's still 2 lands in my deck, right? So I mean, we're like definitely keeping, but the question is like, am I going for the Belcher or am I going for the Cruel Bargain? I'm probably just supposed to Belcher them. Just like hope they die. I could bargain crack LED though. Like have a bunch of mana floating. The odds I lose. Let's draw some cards. We could die here or like miss, but sweet. We did not miss. Made changes to the Night Spire deck last night at 10 o'clock. They're not going to be included today then. I made some edits last night before that time period. Alright, so we're down to 5. How much mana do I have? I've got 7 cards in my bin at this point. So I can pitch, Spirit Guide, play the Cabal Ritual for 5 mana. Can Cruel Bargain again. So Tendrils is lethal at this point. Alright, and we have Lion's Eye Diamond plus Infernal Tutor now. Yes, I'm glad we... Usually going for it with the amount of floating mana that we had means that you're good to go. So I'm glad that we decided to do the thing. Exile that one. And then we'll cast this, holding priority. And then this card is Demonic Tutor, so we get any card out of our deck if we have no hand, so we'll crack that. And Storm count is 13, so we'll get to go ahead and grab Tendrils and kill them here. So Tendrils is a Storm card that makes our opponent lose 2 life and us gain 2 life for every spell cast before it in the turn, so they lose 28 and we gain 28. Pretty exciting and engaging game of Magic the Gathering. I almost feel bad when I show off Legacy with this deck because, like, most of Legacy is not decks like what we're playing, and, like, the deck we're playing is actually not very good in this format. This deck's, like, a lot more like a Modern deck than a Legacy deck. Legacy tends to be skewed towards, like, fair decks and prison decks more than anything. Be honest, you do this so people won't ask you to play Legacy. I mean, people mostly don't ask for Legacy because I charge a premium for it. So, maybe I missed something. Why no Once Upon a Time? Why would we want to play Once Upon a Time? This deck doesn't actually play that many creatures in it. And like, that card costing 2 mana once we've cast some spells doesn't seem particularly good. How did this deck get its name? Because nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. His hand doesn't do anything, right? It's got some starting mana, but it doesn't have any block rituals in it. This hand's excellent. Bottom Skullwinder. Put on a start of game effects. Oh, they're still mulliganing. Got it. They do have start of game effects, and it's a Leyline of Sanctity. Can I beat a Leyline of Sanctity? This is target, right? This is target. think we're dead, right? Yeah, I guess we could theoretically, I guess we can theoretically cast a bunch of creatures, huh? I'm gonna draw a bunch of cards and see where we go. I don't know, they mulligan, they only have 2 cards in their hand. So, like, when they're mulliganing for this card, they're less likely to, like, have more things to guaranteed lock me out. I agree on a normal draw they're gonna lock you out, but... Alright, so we're just gonna cast Elvish Spirit Guide here. And commence the 10-turn clock. This is my 2/2. There are many like it, but this one is mine. We'll board in some Empty the Warrens for the 3rd game. My biggest takeaway from the Mythic Championship is did they actually playtest with some of these cards? That would be my number one wonder. Did they play test these cards? I guess we're gonna die to this before they die to this, huh? Alright. I'll board in and empty the Warrens. Does this not have Burning Wish? Alright. Just as a rule, I'm timing out subs who ask questions that they could answer themselves. Let's help those that help themselves. Don't be lazy. And I think I'm trimming one of these since they're on a Leyline plan. I guess I could board in Tomb of Urami if I wanted to. I could like cut the Goblin Charbelcher and like some Summoner's Pacts. Just like, because if we're boarding in a bunch of lands, the Belcher plan's pretty bad. All right, let's try that. See how it goes. As someone who did not play Standard, I would have thought something along the lines of Land Worlds wasn't ban-worthy, isn't golden growth forward. Can you explain to me why I'm wrong? I actually think Land Worlds is ban-worthy. I think Standard tends to be centered around playing cards that are more expensive, and specifically your good cards in Standard tend to start at the 3 mana cost slot. So when you have cards like Golden Goose and Land Worlds and Boreal Gracer in the format, it pushes everything to be a little bit faster, and that's not ideal. Hey, Cloud, thanks for the 18 months. I appreciate that. Morning, Lumbering Falls. We're just here cranking it out. All right, so what does this hand do? This hand can go mana, 3 mana, 6 mana Cruel Bargain. So I think we keep this. Yeah, Manguchi's opponent punted that line though, right? Like the fact that Manguchi's opponent like ultimated the Nissa was a pretty clear mistake, right? Like his opponent definitely should have just like plussed the Nissa and made a 3/3, and they would not have died the following turn to Manguchi's draw. So we'll cast this, we'll crack this for triple black. Start drawing some cards here. All right, so 3, 4, 5 mana. That's unfortunate. I needed a double mana card in here. If we would have hit... If we would have hit a an extra piece of mana here, we could have emptied for like 12 goblins or so. But we didn't, unfortunately. So now we have to Infernal Tutor. And we're pretty unlikely to win from this board state. I only have 3 mana. I guess I could just make a 5/5 on turn 1. No, I'm short mana to do that too, right? Because it requires 4. Awkward. Will Oko be used in formats other than standard? Yeah, it's been popping up a lot in modern. I guess we just Infernal Contract and like hope to go from there. We're pretty unlikely to kill them from this spot though. Right. So any mana of any card of any color, any non-land card next turn, we can go Chrome Mox, Dark Ritual, make a 5/5. Lotus Petal also works. In general, I think Standard is best when a mid-range or aggressive deck is at the top of the field. Oh, I could have played my other tomb out. Yeah, I could have floated mana from a tomb. You're right. So I didn't need to draw a thing. You are correct. We have made a demon. We're probably dead here. They have like their whole thing set up at this point. Like I have to kill them. I don't kill them for 4 turns. This is like pretty loose. Deals 1 damage to you if you don't control an ogre. Yeah, it does. Yeah, the banner restrict update usually happens sometime between 9:30 and 10 cornfield time. Yes, ogre tribal deck, exactly. I think this build or Burning Wish build are better. Well, there isn't really a Burning Wish build, so I think you're talking about a different deck. Not all Storm decks are the same. Like most of the decks we play on this stream, this deck is not very good. People tend to not not send in dollars to play very good decks, which is part of the reason why I've raised the price on decks for Modern and Legacy, because playing decks that are bad in these formats tends to suck. So my hope is that by upping the price, we will eventually thin it out, and I'll just pick decks I actually want to play. So we're at 10, or they're at 10. They have this Dryad Arbor, so I could Chrome Mox. I think I'm just passing here. No, you don't get a discount for sending in a good deck, because that requires me to then moderate what people classify as good, which makes people upset and is extra work for me. So moving forward, it's going to be $50 for Modern or Legacy. Just anything on Magic Online is $50, which should significantly slow down the submission rate. That is Legacy staple Skullwinder. Right, we were probably dead the turn they had Leyline Instinct 3. Yeah. You know, I'm actually just gonna be done. I guarantee 2 matches with the deck. This deck sucks. It's really not very fun to play. So I don't know. Like we got Force involved, and then we got Leyline, and then there was nothing interesting to do. So let's play some Standard, where even when Standard's bad, I think it's better than what these formats are at the moment, especially with these bad decks. So this deck's not good. If you want to play a Storm deck, play the Storm deck that just won the Grand Prix. Let's play Standard. I'm gonna run a quick ad break before we head on in. We've got 3 different Standard decks, then we're gonna wrap up with some Mythgard today.